Good morning, friends. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a nice, safe trading day. Bullion price around. I did put up some risk today. It was pretty cool. I'll explain my trade in a moment. Just taking a look at price action. Wow. Ever annoying. No change. It ain't doing diddly squat. So we have an inside trading candle. Another compression. We didn't get a close above this down close candle or in or above this blue shaded area, which was kind of what I was looking at. Was more interested in where we close in relation to that specific price point right there. And we closed just underneath it. So what does that mean? That means I'm still bearish. No change. We just did basically diddly squat on a Wednesday. So if you remember yesterday, last night in the update, I was mentioning, I don't know. We closed back up in equilibrium. We didn't break through the order block. It's looking bullish and bearish at the same time. It's still sitting in equilibrium. And I reserved the right to call a direction. And we did nothing. Let it sink in for a minute. You can call no direction too. Someday you'll get there. So what does this mean? This means that I'm looking at this specific candlestick right here and I'm measuring the midway point. Now, I don't know if I really consider this an order block. I guess I should. It's inside of this mitigation block here, and this old day opening gap there. Speaking of old day opening gap, I said old week opening gap here last night. I was doing a review on my review, and that's old day opening gap. So my apologies. Sometimes I'll call things something different. I'm sure many of you, probably all of you, are smart enough to catch it and correct me in real time. So these are the levels I'm interested in. Now I'm going to go into a 4-hour chart and just see what's going on in here. It's just a mess. Like, we got seek and destroy going on. We could go up, we could go down. We're right back to where we began. When I came back publicly, literally no change. We went up a little bit, we went down a little bit. So that means we got a brand new idiot box. Woohoo! And we've got, today I thought non-farm employment change was, it's not. They switched it to tomorrow. So that was a surprise. We had jolts for 10 a.m. this morning, and that was hilarious. And yeah, usually the NF employment change is on Wednesday, and then NFP is on Friday. So tomorrow is going to be likely volatile. How could you tell? Well, go look at your daily chart. You've got two compressions after maybe two expansions here, but right, you've got that swing high up in the premium at the inversion fair value gap here, and it's just like, we came for liquidity. It did its job. Even though it doesn't look like it did its job. It doesn't have to go down anymore. That could have been it. But because these next 2 days are the days where the market makers could go, oh, I'm just going to do a big giant wick in your face like this. Hiya! And this is what your chart will look like. And say if you're like in a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart, that's what your candle will end up looking like. And you'll be like, what happened? My model, blah, blah. No, this is the next 2 days. Yeah, you don't want to be putting up your good accounts. Just so you know. So yeah, these are the levels I'm looking at. Gun to my head, I say we go down. I would like to go down, stop out all these suckers, and then for the rest of September, continue on our journey. I also would appreciate a dump into rate cuts. So yeah, that this monthly time frame too, as I was mentioning yesterday, if I was long, I would permit it to come into this fair value gap, but it doesn't have to. It really does not. And I would, because of the vacuum block, remember yesterday we were below the open and it was red? Look at that. It's above the open now. So it sucked it in and then it went. So maybe it's going to do the Hawk Tua and we just freaking turbo launch. I'm telling you guys, I don't know. There are times when I know exactly where price is going because my thing's in. There are times when I'm waiting for that. Some of you might see that as a weakness, but it is one of the greatest strengths that I've developed over the years is knowing when to sit and do nothing. And that's right now during NFP week. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to put up some risk if I see something great. And I was mentioning Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the day that I do want to put up some risky poo. And in all honesty, I thought up until like later this afternoon, somebody was showing me and I was like, whoa, how was that not the thing? So if you remember, what I was looking for was some downside. So this morning when we started rising up for 9:30 and we grabbed buy side and hit this blue shaded area, you'll see in my recording, I was really interested in this level. And then there was a couple other levels. The recording's not too far on my Twitter page. As price was coming down, it shifted market structure after the stop hunt here. So this bear flag here, how it got stopped out right there. And then it started running. So this is what I was interested in a short, because this is what I wanted to play. As this come up into the fair value gap, I was getting short. Well, boom, it just ran out the fair value gap, stopped me out right away. So what I did was I grabbed that fair value gap right there and I flipped long. Came up, went down, just sat there and waited and waited. And I closed on that candle right there. And you'll see that in the recording. And then I sat the rest of the day out. And that's what we did. And I'm glad I did because my golly gosh, what a horrible afternoon. I tried to go live with the members. It just wasn't doing squat. And then it just kind of fell and chopped around. And then look at this. Right at the end of the day, ripped right back up into the double top. Fancy that. It would run to a double top, huh? So I was going to do an update until later because I wanted the information from 8 p.m. till midnight, and I've actually already seen all I needed to know. So, I'm just going to start fresh here. And maybe I will turn on the toolkit and notice that our flout range is quite large, meaning that we could get a very dynamic range tomorrow for the economic news event. There's obviously liquidity here, and we haven't taken Monday yet, I don't think, or did we slightly? Yeah, we just slightly took Monday already. Yeesh. And that was also our banking holiday, wasn't it? So there's that deadly accumulation range. You guys, this is kind of hot. If you're new with me, hello, welcome. I'm going to give you a little tipsky poo on the market. At midnight EST, the high and the low of the day has been decided. It's not random. Regardless of what you Google, what all these guys in these books who never proved that they were ever profitable, okay? The high and the low of the day is decided at midnight EST. These ranges that price makes in between specific times before midnight help give us the clues to where the high and the low just might be. So the range between 8 and midnight here was quite favorable. Didn't do very much. Didn't give the Judas below, but notice how midnight is acting as support and resistance. A very sensitive price point given by time. High of the day here. 4 deviations of Asia's range, calling out the high of the day, and that was from wick to wick. Try the 15-minute on this one. Usually there's a lot more precision in my Asian range. But we also have, yeah, there it is right there. Okay, we all know to front run our exits a bit here. But something for you to study. And, you know, I know what they told you was what you grew into. You might think that's random, and they might tell you that that's random at the time of this news release, but it's not. It never was, and it's likely never going to be. I would elect to use the flout on there, but before the news release of the earnings report, just appreciate the respect of precision given by the Asian range. 8 p.m. to midnight. That range gives a plethora of clues of what you can expect for the following day. And if you're in there trying to trade it, you're missing the boat. Okay, you can say that's random and whatever. I can't move those lines, okay? Whatever price range was made between 8 and midnight, that's the low of the day. I can't make it up. That's it. So that's what I'm trying to say. The next couple of days are those days where you could get something like this, okay? So this is an example of how the market makers will put their thumb on the do not push button, and they will push that button if they decide to. They don't have to. Everything could be scripted. You could get a stop punt, your bull flag could be perfect, and you could just keep walking. Great. In that case, then we likely capitalize on a nice daily range. However, the next 2 days are the days that this can happen, especially tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just looking out for you. You know, intraday trading it's another ball game. It's another ball game. Okay, so just be careful. And I'm saying this to help you and protect you. Come in after and sweep everybody up if there's a model or something to be offered. Here, it just ate everybody for the rest of the day. Okay, so it's not quite random in really where it goes and what it's doing. It's just the range that you would be, and you'd think, oh, like let's say you were to take this bearish money printer. Let's just say you were following a model. Okay, and you were timed and everything was on side, and you were like, yeah, this feels good. Now in the moment, it's gonna feel good, and you're gonna go, oh, my trade's so dope. I feel like a trader. I was so patient and waiting for this, and there's your entry right there. But then, when the news release comes, boom, you're stopped out, and then it goes your direction, and then you're choked, and then you're sitting there trying to chase this loss back, and there's no offer. There's nothing for you. It literally did nothing. But this will destroy you if you're not able to sit there and do nothing after you lose a trade. You know, and then you have these nice ranges the next day where you get a nice stop hunt, retest the daily open, and then just keep repricing higher. This one was annoying. I would have rather, I was waiting for this short. I even woke up early, but it was already below the open. And I mean, check that out, right? Again, I can't change these. Okay. They're set at midnight. That's the bottom right there. Can't move these lines. They are set at midnight by the range that that price made. Okay. Hashtag not random. And that's the midway point. I wonder if that lines up perfectly. Like one equal range of Asia's range right here. And that midway point there, a 0.5 deviation, perfectly half. And there's your model afterward. Right in the kill zone too, weird. So don't give up, you guys. Keep studying. This is tomorrow and Friday, right? We got 2 more days of bullying price around. Today, not doing what I wanted to, not doing what I was expecting. I mean, we had real no expectations. I did want to see it start cruising down, and it's not doing that. However, we've got equal lows here, equal highs, and a lot of equal highs over here. So it's setting up for a double whammy liquidity sweep here. If we leave this low alone, then likely the bottom's in for September. And if that's the case, we need to take that high there. Not any other high. That one specifically. Okay, so that's going to be my, basically my offside price point here. I want to see a 4-hour candle close above that, and then I will determine my bearish bias for NFP week offside, which isn't the worst thing. I mean, we did get a dip. I mean, was it really offside? We hit target 1, right? We just didn't get this bigger giant liquidity sweep here. And of course, we could be saving this for later because maybe it's just not worth visiting, but or maybe it's just done its job. I was mentioning that before too. So if that is the bottom, c'est la vie. If we close a daily candle above this guy, alt season's on. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.